to be decided, and we are going to explore cultural relationships between different societies in this presentation. Our theme is The Other in Other Societies. This documentary observes the culture and how society deals with foreign aspects since the old ages. Until nowadays, societies tend to discriminate against everything that is done differently from the way they are used to, considering different habits, races, and religion, always trying to impose their own culture as the greatest one. So, as we saw this semester with the works we read, it is easy to identify in them a powerful judgment of other societies, their costumes, and their ways of living. In this documentary, we are going to focus on this topic of societies and cultural issues discussed in Of Cannibals by Michel de Montaigne and The Tempest by William Shakespeare. Of Cannibals is an essay by Montaigne and describes the ceremonies of Tupinambá people who lived in Brazil. He uses cultural relativism and compares the cannibalism to what was considered barbarian in the 16th century Europe. And The Tempest is a play written by Shakespeare, and it is set in an island somewhere, where Prospero and his daughter Miranda live with the spirit Ariel and a strange creator, Caliban. They receive survivors of a ship that were destroyed by a tempest, and one of those was Prospero's brothers, Antonio, with his son Ferdinand.
Among the countless societies, there are also countless customs, habits, and values. For decades, many societies have found themselves superior to others because they believe that their values are better and more correct. The two works studied exemplify how these visions are present. In Of Cannibals, it's pretty evident the relation of cultural shock between Europeans' costumes and natives' ones. Montaigne also contradicts ethnocentric vision with the idea of no superiority between nations. For him, each one has its own truth. In The Tempest, the idea of ethnocentrism and xenophobia are also clear in the acts of Miranda and Prospero about Caliban, that although he owns the island, he is seen like a foreigner, inferior, and a servant.
The writer and sociologist Montaigne, who is also the author of the book Of Cannibals, talks about how humans tend to judge others based only by their point of view, thinking just about their culture and what they consider as normal, not thinking about what the others might be used to. He says this is almost as humans live in a constant slavery situation created by themselves, where they are held by their culture and can't understand others. This is the reason why, when one group of people meet another one, they consider the others as barbarians, because they are different and don't fit their patterns. In this image, two different people meet for the first time. Each one looks at the other with a different perspective because of their cultures and beliefs.
It's really funny to notice how studying literature and history leads us to reflecting on how society changed and evolved through the ages. Commoners conquered rights, women gained more space in society, and social minorities are being heard more each day. Funny thing is, xenophobia and ethnocentrism still permeate our society since the first literary reports ever found. It's hard to think that in the world we live in today, in the 21st century, we are subject to face political actions to keep people apart and reinforce prejudice. Forced acculturation is commonly pictured as something good by the literature from colonizer countries, as if, by imposing their own cultural beliefs, language, and habits to people from different and underestimated cultures, they are helping them to succeed, saving them from misery. This kind of behavior is modernly also known as the white savior complex, and it is still found in society until nowadays and is a very discussed matter in the Black, Latin, and some Asian communities. Wealthy nations still see people from poor and underdeveloped territories as inferior. Countries that were once colonies were taught to see the world with the same eyes as the colonizers, and it remains until today. The confrontation of xenophobia is a challenge for our time, because each day more and more national borders are broken and citizens start to live not only with their homeland, but with everyone as citizens of a cosmopolitan world. We hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below and thank you for watching. Bye bye.
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 Bye.